One of the most powerful and versatile data types that we have in Python are lists, which allow us to easily store and manipulate sets of data. However, a list is more than just a data type. It's a data collection, also commonly referred to as a data structure, that can store multiple elements within a single container. You can think of data collections as variables that you can store multiple values within. If you're using Python for data science and analytics purposes, lists will quickly become one of your most commonly used data structures. Another important concept in programming is loops, which we also refer to as repetition structures, that allow us to run a set of code statements multiple times. Lists and loops are typically introduced in a programming course, particularly a Python programming course, because loops are used to iterate over the multiple elements contained within a list. If you've ever written code using another programming language such as Java or C#, you likely learned about arrays. Now, lists have very similar characteristics to arrays and in many ways are far more versatile. In fact, there is no array data structure built into Python by default. Instead, we use lists. A list is a mutable, meaning changeable, ordered sequence of elements that allows duplicate values. The elements contained within a list can easily be changed, removed, or added to. Similar to how characters in a string are indexed, each element in a list is assigned an index number based on its relative position in the sequence. The first element in the list is always located at index 0. And list elements are also commonly referred to as list items. To create an empty list, we start with a unique identifier name, just like any other variable, followed by the assignment operator and a pair of square brackets. So let's take a look here. So let's go ahead and create a new list. We'll call it new underscore list, and we'll set it equal to open and close brackets. And that's it. That's an empty list that we can now use to add items to. If you want to print that out, we can say print new list, and all we're going to get here is that we have an empty list with no values in it. We can also declare a list with initial values using a sequence of comma-separated values. So if we want to go ahead and say numbers and set that equal to something like 4 and 5.2, and then just add some other numbers there. Again, all of these need to be comma-separated. And we go ahead and print that out. We'll see that we have a list here with all those values. Now, to access a specific element within a list, we use the corresponding index position, just like we reference specific characters in a string. So for example, let's say that we want to print out something like the third element value in the numbers list. We can go ahead and just add to that by referencing the numbers, and then we'll say third value is going to be at index value 2, right? Because it's 0, 1, 2. So I'll put in 2 there. And if we try to run this right now, we're going to get this error that it says it cannot concatenate a string with an integer. Well, the reason we're getting this error is because these are integer values in the list, and we're trying to print out a string. So remember, we have to go ahead and convert this to a string. So we'll just wrap this in the str method. We talked about that in a previous module. And make sure we have the correct number of parentheses there. Then go ahead and run it, and we'll see here the third element value in the numbers list is 10, which if we go 0, 1, 2, right, that is the third value there. If we wanted to print out something else, we could say maybe the sixth element value in the numbers list. And then the same thing here, we're going to convert to string, and we'll reference numbers, and the sixth element is going to be at the fifth index because it's always -1. And we run that, we'll see 54. And again, if we look back up here, the 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, that is in fact 54. So remember that indexes are always 0 relative. So the first item stored in the list will be at index 0, and then we count up from there. Also, just like a string, we can get the length, the number of elements in the list using the len function. So if we wanted to say len and then numbers, that's going to say, tell us that there's 6 elements in total in that list. Lists can also contain mixed data types, which is great because we can put strings and numbers and booleans and really anything else. We can put lists within lists, which we'll look at in just a bit, but we can have multiple data types and values within a list. So let's start here by declaring some variables that we're going to then eventually put into a list. So maybe we have a variable here called num. We set that equal to 9.8. And then we'll have a variable called word. We can set equal to snake. And then we'll go ahead and declare a list with some mixed data types and put those variables inside that list. So we can say mixed list and set that equal to, again, open close brackets to indicate that this is a list. And then we'll toss in some of those variables and some other values. We'll say num, word, and then we can also put in maybe a Boolean here and another number and maybe another string here. So we'll maybe put the word boot. And we'll go ahead and print this out and see what we have, right? So you can see that it pulled the value from these variables from num and word into the list. Lastly, you can change or update elements within a list, the values that is of the elements in the list, by referencing the specific index position and just reassigning it a value. So it just works like any other variable that we can reassign its value. So for example, if we want to say mixed list and then reference, maybe if I want to change this value here, this word to, instead of snake, maybe to change it to Python, well then I'll say that's going to be position 1. We'll set that equal to Python. And then if I want to go ahead and print this out again, we'll see that it has updated the value of that second element in the list.